You guys don't know it yet, but I'm holding a wine rack. A what, you say? Haha, stick around. Welcome back to the Universal Plywood channel. We're gonna get stuck into some wine. I mean, making a wine rack, rather. Okay, so we've started to break down our stuff now, our sheet goods, our plywood, and we're going to start doing some measurements. Now it gets complicated when you want to try and evenly spaced holes or evenly space anything on a board, because let's be honest, who's got time for mathematics when you're busy doing woodwork? So guess what, there's an easy way. I'll bet you somewhere in your house you've got a set of dividers from, back in the day when you had to use these at school. These guys are one of the most useful workshop tools you can have. Let me show you why. I need to make 1, 2, 3 evenly spaced holes in this piece of wood. I don't really even know what the distance is of the, I haven't measured it. It doesn't actually matter, but I do want even spaces. So here's what you can do, is I can walk this off by just taking my dividers, setting them, just starting with a guess, and setting them like this and going, okay, right, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Oh, we're very close. Okay, so we're just going to increase it by a little tiny bit and start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. So there's my setting. I didn't have to do a single bit of mathematics. How easy is that? All I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a speed square, just going to mark a straight line on my plywood. 1, I can make a nice big hole now because I know it's accurate. 2, I can make another one. 3, those are my 3 center lines. I can now take a square and trace these lines down the length. Okay. So what I've got here are the center lines for the 3 wine bottles. What I want to do now is go in the opposite direction to get my center line for my other 2. Now I want to have 2 wine bottles here, which means I now need to divide this by 3. So I'm going to walk this off twice. So there's 1 there. So there's 1, 2. Oh, again, very close. Okay, so there's 1, 2, perfect. Right, so let's go. Let's mark this down. There's 1 there. There's 1 there. And all I'm going to do is, again, trace my grid. Okay, I've got the center points for all my wine bottles now. So I'm going to take my awl and mark them so I know where they are. And then I'm going to drill my wine bottle holes. This is such an easy way to do a wine holder, because the alternative is to try and make those fancy crisscross ones where they fit into each other like this, and you've got to do the groove, and you've got to get the groove to be perfect, and it all gets just too complicated. I'm all about making life as simple as humanly possible. And that's one of the reasons why I like working with ply. It's just simple stuff to work with. Right, that's good. Now, I'm going to find a way to hold all 3 of these boards together so that I can drill them at one time. I don't want to have to drill them individually. I've got them sized the same. I may as well drill them all in one go. I'm going to show you guys a cool trick for how to hold boards together in a way that you can take it apart again without damaging the wood. So stick around, we're going to get some stuff and I'll show you. Okay, so I can already see in the comment section below, there's guys going, I don't have dividers. Where do I get dividers from? Well, all is not lost. You don't have to give up the project because you don't have dividers, because if you've got a ruler, there is also a very cool way to divide a board up evenly using a ruler. This is another mathematics free way of doing it. Let me show you. If I want to divide my board, we know that we want to have 3 dividers. We want to have 3 rows of dividers. So there's 1, 2, 3. We're to divide our board essentially 3 equal spaces. So I want to have, there's 2 wine bottles, so I want to have 3 equal spaces. So what's a number that's easily divided by 3? Is, let's say 45 is good. 45 is actually perfect because 45 divided by 3 is 15. So all I'm going to do here is line up one end of the ruler anywhere along this edge, doesn't matter where, just over there. Line up 45 on this edge and then just mark off every 15. So there we go, 15, 30 and 45. All I need to do now is trace my line across here, and I have exactly the same result. I didn't have to do any fancy mathematics, didn't have to take out a calculator. I just used an easily divisible number and I have exactly the same grid. Well, if I wanted to do the other way, it's exactly the same thing. I want to divide it by 4. So from here to here divided by 4 is exactly the same. I can take this guy and take, let's go 44. I can get this divided by 4, that's 11. So if I take from there, that's 0. Move this to 44, because that's easily divided by 4. So I go every 11. 1, 22, 33, and 44. And I have exactly the same grid. There we go. I've just created exactly the same grid I created with my dividers by simply using a straight line ruler. Next cool trick in the workshop, how to stick things together so that you can take them apart again. If you ever have to stick boards together, one of the ways guys do it is they take double-sided tape and stick double-sided tape to stuff and then, you know, try and pull it apart again. Problem with that is that two things happen. Firstly, it's actually not easy to pull apart because double-sided tape nowadays is all pretty sticky stuff. And secondly, the other thing is that it actually gets stuck to your wood and it's difficult to peel it off. So you spend more time actually undoing the problem than in the first place. So here's a quick solution that I think works super well. All it is, it's CA glue or cyanoacrylate glue or super glue as people call it, and a little bit of activator and a tiny bit of masking tape. So what we're doing here is firstly sticking the masking tape to the wood where you want it to be stuck, and those two pieces are going to be stuck opposite each other. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of this glue, not a lot, you don't need a lot, just like that. Spray a bit of activator on the other side. That's all you need. And guess what? You have got serious contact in a jiffy. Really quick, really easy, and very secure. Right, now I can machine this together. I can drill all my holes in one go without having to do this individually. I know then that they'll all line up, and when I'm done, you'll see how easy it is to peel these boards apart because I'm just peeling off masking tape. Okay, so let's get a clamp, get a drill, and drill some holes. All right, here's the cool part about the tape trick. Just look how easy that comes apart, you know. And I don't have to worry about double-sided tape. I just remove the masking tape nice and easily. No worries, no mess. Don't have to fight with sticky double-sided tape. Probably costs less, works better, is faster. Okay, we have our wine rack components all cut. Okay, so we've installed our dado blade into our table saw. It's going to allow us to take a nice fat cut all in one go. I've got our sides of our wine box here, and we're going to run our dados that will accept the wine dividers. This will go very quickly. We'll cut 1, 2, 3 grooves all the way down, and then we'll be able to cut everything to size and fold it together. So let's get cutting. Okay, so we swap blades back to our normal blade again. What we're going to do now is just rough cut, or just basically cut the very end of one of these off, set a distance to 400, and then cut that, and we'll do two at 400 and 2 at 300. That's my 2 long sides cut. Now let's do my 2 short sides. Okay, so we have our 4 sides. So we've got 2 short sides, 2 long sides. We now have our dividers ready to go in. Our wine dividers are ready to go in. All we've got to do now is put this together, measure the distance that these must be, cut these to size, slot them in, and we're going to show you a cool trick how to tape up a box. It's just the best way to clamp a box, so it's another cool trick to see. So stick around for that. Sure. All right, so that's in position. Now, at the moment, we're not really clamping yet. We're just kind of aligning stuff and getting stuff to where we want it, because we need to sort out all of our edges and getting it looking good. Get our plywood dividers to all line up. That's better. That's how I want you. That looks and feels good. Right, okay, now here's the next cool trick. If you don't have clamps, and I think I've shared this with you guys before on one of the other videos, but this stuff, insulation tape, electrical tape I call it, is by far one of the coolest ways to clamp up boxes, because it applies even pressure the whole way around your box, and as you pull the tape tight, it just wants to pull back and it gets tighter and tighter. So this stuff works like a clamp, and it works incredibly well. Okay, so the last thing we've got to do is put our back on, and this also is going to be very simple. We're going to put some glue all the way around the outside of the back of the box, and we're going to just simply nail it on. And all we're using is exactly the same plywood that we've been using all along, and we just cut out a piece exactly the same size as the back, put it into position, and nail it on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the tape, make it look pretty, put some finish on, go buy some wine, drink the wine, buy some more wine, maybe drink that as well. Then maybe I'll buy some wine for the box. So that's all there is to making a wine box. Not all that hard if you think about it. I mean, it's basically a box and a couple of pieces of wood with some holes in it. Obviously you've got to get the order of things right, and it helps when you've got nice, good plywood to work with. So again, you know, it's something that you guys should try. Give it a bash. It's not that tough to do. Okay, so if you like wine or you like this video, either way, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. We are going to release new videos all the time actually, so keep a lookout for those. Ring the bell and we can let you know when the new ones are posted. Also, if you need to see anything about some of the tools that we used or any of the information about this video, check out the links below. We'll see you guys here back next time. Take it easy.
Oh. Uh-oh.